Hi, this is Mary. Welcome back to my channel. I certainly appreciate all my new subscribers. Thank you so much. And one of these days I will gather up your names and read them off. But for now, we'll just go ahead and go on with what we plan to do today, which we are going to decoupage using napkins, luncheon napkins. Okay, so normally I would work with a sponge brush, but today I'm going to use this rather flat brush, and I say flat because it is flat. Anyway, I don't really know the specific name for this one, but it's all good, right? Okay, I ordered, if you're curious, I ordered these napkins through, where did I put the paper? I just set it down. Now I can't find it. I found it. It's called Christian Craft Paper, and it's available online. And yeah, I'll see if I can make a link for you and get you over there if you're interested. Alrighty. So she has several. They offer several things that you can buy over there, and you'll just have to go over there if you're interested. Okay, so I'm going to work with this particular one today. And I'm hoping that I'll get that centered as much as possible. And I might have to go down just a tad. Yep, just a tad. Why I'm making impressions around the edges with my fingers is because I want to not just cut this off square and go, oh, that's nice. I just want to add some interest to this little thing. In fact, I bought my my little pieces of wood. They're called wood tiles, and you can also order these through that company as well. They have really good prices, so if you want to check them out, do that then. Okay, I think I got that just where I want it. Now I need my trusty scissors. Come here. I don't want to have to upset the entire thing here. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut this part out. I have my indentations there where I need that to be. I could just rip this, but I don't really want to do that either. It doesn't matter that I'm getting this all, what do you call it, uneven around the edges, because that's not even going to show. Okay. Now then, I want to put these somewhere where I'm not constantly running into my scissors. Okay, so where I put that indentation around there is now I'm going to, I'm not really looking to fill up the entire square. But first, you know what we're going to have to do. I don't want to just leave this as the bare wood here. I am going to put gesso on this, just so you know. So I got my gesso there. I have my Mod Podge that I'm working with today is satin. I'm always having to roll up my sleeves. So now we're just going to tear. Probably what I should do is use a water brush. That would probably help me to tear a little bit better. Let me see. I have 3 types of water brushes, and what you do with these is you fill this part up with water, just regular tap water. Doesn't have to be anything special. And you can use these for various applications. So let me pause you and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, and I managed to hit the right button this time. You're like, well, good, you're finally learning. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I have water now in this part of my brush. And I haven't worked with these in a while, but I want to make sure that before I make this a big mess, make sure this is coming out, and yes, it is. You just lightly have to squeeze, okay? So it'll make the tearing process on this particular piece a lot easier. So I'm just going to go around where I did my end. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Let's see. I basically know where to put this then. It will work. It will work. I'm not even really pushing on this. It just tends to flow really well. Believe you me, this is going to make it a lot easier to tear. Okay. I think you can just, yeah. Alrighty, Mary, we get that done. Okay, so where I did that now, it's very easy to tear, as you can see. Makes it very nice to tear. You're not having to, oh, I don't know. Yeah, it does make it a little bit wet, but while this is drying, you can start putting your gesso on your piece that you'll be working with. You don't want to let this dry too much because then it will not tear right, and you'll end up having to wet that part again. So you go all along where you want to tear. This makes it a lot easier, as you can see. And don't think for a minute that I'm going to throw away these pieces. Remember, we use up our pieces. Doesn't matter what it is. Could be string, whatever project I'm working on. There was a time when I used to just throw things away and think, oh, I don't need this, I don't need that. But let me tell you, when you have inflation staring at you, when you go to the grocery store and at the gas pump and everything else, you think, well, you know, I need to learn to save some money. Well, I had to kind of basically, you know, tell myself that when it especially comes to crafts. Now, if you're like I am and you love to buy crafts, it's just it's fun to do that. But when you're trying to save money, what I like to do is I'd like to try to use up my scraps as much as possible. Okay, so remember, this is not going into the trash. I'm just setting it aside where it can dry. And I'm going to take my piece here and I'm going to see now. This looks like I want it to look. Now remember, I'm not putting any glue. There's no glue on this yet. So I'm just kind of positioning it to see if this is where I want it to be. I think a little bit more of this could probably come off of here. So I'm going to take my brush again and go around a little bit around the edges here. Make sure that's coming out the way it should. So I don't want to tear it every which way. I just want to do some general tears here. So I'm going to pop my lid back on. This requires a little bit of concentration. So I won't be like yakking. and you are just trying to take off a little bit, it becomes a little bit more tricky to get it just the way you want it. Now, have I ever worked with napkins before? Yes, I have. Have I ever worked with them in Mod Podging on wood? No, I have not. Wait a minute. No, I haven't. But I have Mod Podged napkins before. So I don't know if that was a question that was rumbling around in your mind, but... or rambling around in your mind. I don't know. Not rumbling. Do your thoughts rumble? I don't know. Oh my. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I want this just a shade. Just a shade on that one and over here. Just a shade. Keep thinking that screws on, but it doesn't. Oh my goodness. You just want to be, even though that's wet, you want to still be, or damp. You still want to be careful when you're tearing this. Let me see. I don't think it really matters what side I use because it's all going to be gessoed anyway. Okay, that looks about how I want it right there. And if I'm off camera, oh my goodness, what was I doing? Pulling things toward me? Must be a gravitational pull that way. I don't know. Oh my heavens. Well, is it any wonder? Okay, so I'm going to put these aside now. Do you have to pour out your water as soon as you're done using this? No, you don't have to. The water will stay good in that for, depending on how often you're going to use it, I would say maybe up to 3 or 4 days. And then I would change it out. And then always store these when they're dry for long periods of time. So I'm just going to leave that one with the water in it because we might use it for something else. I don't know if we'll use it in this particular video, but we'll use it at some point. I'm sure we will. Wait a minute. Am I sure? Okay, again, so with the gesso, we don't want to, this is not watered down whatsoever. Okay, so you just want to make sure you get enough on your brush, which I think that's plenty. And you're just going to want to start anywhere. Now, I suppose if you wanted to leave it more natural behind the napkin, because the napkin will sort of become translucent, sort of. But I mean, your main thing will stay the same basically. But now, if you wanted to leave this more natural, you could. It's totally up to you. It's whatever look you want to use. I think this brush is shedding. It's one of the brushes. I was looking for my sponge brushes, which I know I bought a pack of them, but where they are now is beyond me. I think things kind of make legs and walk off. Don't know. I mean, did my dog take them? What would she have done with them? No, seriously, she didn't do that. So I had to go out and get my husband's brushes and look through his brushes and say, okay, I'm going to have to use his. I know, I feel like this brush might have something on it. It was clean when I used it, but you know, brushes over time will lose their bristles. Depending how, you know, how nice they are. If you spend a lot of money for your brushes, you may not lose the bristles on them. I don't know how much he spent on these. Doesn't matter. It's just I need something to apply this, and so I'm not letting this dry in between coats. I probably should, but I'm just trying to, and I will probably, yeah, I will be drying this too, so this wood is just like soaking up this gesso. But the online store, it's not my store or anything, just I'm clarifying that for you, does offer quite a few products. And you can tell that it looks like they will probably be adding more to their store. Oops, this is getting a fine little bunch on that side. Well, maybe I should. Well, I'm not really worried though about that. I will probably be cleaning up the edges here in a minute. I know, isn't this a fun video watching me apply this stuff? I want to make sure I get that off of there, because I want it on my project. Yeah, I'm seeing some buildup over there. Okay, so I'm not going to apply like tons and tons of coats to this because it's not really necessary. I want that out of there, whatever that was. Who knows what that was? I have no idea. Well, there's going to be little fuzzy wuzzies and whatever else on here. I probably should have taken a little bit of a light grit of sandpaper to this, but I didn't. And to me, there was no rough edges to this, so, you know, there you go. Okay, well, I'm going to pause you because I've got to clean this brush before I can add in the Mod Podge, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I had to wash out my brush. And you'll want to clean your brush in between different applications unless you're using two different brushers or two different sponge brushes. Okay, so basically I wipe. Be very careful when you're touching this when it's still wet. Okay, so I'm taking my lovely little heat thing here, and I'm going to be drawing this. I don't want to blow this all over the place, so I'm going to move it. Anyway, you want to make sure that this is not on high or anything. This is on low, so you just want to do a general drawing because you don't want this mixing in with your design, your print on your napkin. So I'm going to pause you, and I'll see you when I get this drying and we're ready to do our Mod Podging then. Okay. All right, and just like that, I'm back. All right, I'm just going to set the heat gun aside there, and I'm going to go ahead and go with my Mod Podge. And again, let's just make let's see where this is going to be on here. Oh, wow, okay, I need to figure out that's got a large clip on that that's holding my phone, and I just rammed my head into it, so that's never a good idea. So I was looking down, I wasn't looking where I was going. Okay, so, yep, Now, if your Mod Podge, if you clean your brush, if it's still a little bit damp, don't worry about that. You don't have to start with a completely dry brush. I mean, just unless you just want to. I mean, if you're wanting to do that, then hey, clean your brush thoroughly and dry it thoroughly, or you just might want to use a different brush. Okay, you're going to want to make sure your Mod Podge is thoroughly mixed because it does settle after a while, and I haven't used this in a while. Why does my keyboard want to join in everything I do? Keyboard needs to go away. Like I said, I work in a very small area. And actually, my desk is pretty long. It's about, I don't know, give or take, maybe about 5 feet, 4 feet long. 4 or 5 feet long. But like I said, I got stuff everywhere. That should be enough. I don't think I need a big paint shaker to shake that thing up. Now, anytime that you are working with Mod Podge, it does have a bit of an odor to it, but it's nothing that it will knock you out and put you on the floor, you know. So I'm not going to actually put this in any of my little cups that I've saved. I'm just going to do this right from the jar. Ooh, I'm going to live dangerously. Living dangerously here. Yeah, that's dripping here. I see that. I don't know if you can see that, but I can see that. And you're just going to want to apply a thin coat of Mod Podge over this. That's why you want your gesso to be dry on here. Otherwise, you're going to have a mixture of gesso with Mod Podge, and it's just going to be, I don't know, it's just going to be bad. Oh, gosh. Because this is a napkin, I would not absolutely apply this to the back of this. Then you're going to rip it. So never a good idea. And always measure to make sure where you want to put your napkin, or if you happen to be working with Mod Podge paper, which is also a very thin type of paper, you want to absolutely make sure that that is where you want to put it. Now there might be a little bit of movement when you are brushing. I'm not talking about this, I'm talking about when you put that on. You'll see here in a minute. Okay, I think that's on there pretty good. Oh, so you want to be very, very careful. I might want to just put that brush down. Am I on camera, y'all? I think I am. Now I am. Okay, so I need to be able to hover over my project. Yes, I'm doing my my video in the daytime. You can probably hear one of my neighbors out there somewhere. Sounds like they might be, I don't know, blowing leaves around or something, or I don't know. It's whatever people like to do on weekends. Alrighty. Oh, I wish this didn't have so much glue on it. Ooh. Oh, good. That came off of there. Yay. Goodbye, glue wad. I'm just going to lightly go over this a little bit. There still might be a few wrinkles in it, but that's okay, you know. Because we're just going to Mod Podge right over this anyway. I just wanted to make sure that it sticks. That's basically where I wanted it. It's basically there. Okay, then you just slap this stuff. Well, you don't want to slap it, but You're going to have a little bit of wrinkle crinkles in it anyway. But that's all well, fine and good. That's what Mod Podging is all about. At least in my opinion it is. That just adds to the wonderful character of Mod Podge. Oh my goodness. I don't know, the smell is pretty bad. I just got a really bad whiff of this Mod Podge stuff. Ugh. Now this does definitely remind me of nail polish remover. Why is that? Ugh. When I had my cosmetology training, we had to do nails. And oh my word, I hated every bit of doing nails, let me tell you. I did not like that at all. No nails. I hated working with the cuticles and ugh. Never liked any part of that at all. I don't know, I kind of like the wrinkled, crinkled part. Now I know there's like another layer of napkin, but when I tried to tear that other one apart, which was just like this when it started to tear on me, and I thought, no, better not do that. It's like paper towels. When you go to when you go to the store, it'll say 1 ply. Those are the real cheap paper towels usually. And then the next step up is a 2-ply paper towel. And the next step up from that is a 3-ply paper towel. Usually your 3 plies are more expensive. Well, that's what it used to be anyway. So anyway, what that means is there's several layers to that paper towel. And if you were to really, if you've never really noticed that before, it's true. All you have to do is look at that paper towel and start, you know, pulling it apart, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's the same way with napkins, your paper napkins. You'll just have to look at the ply, how many layers. That just means how many layers is there, and you can pull those apart. So I could have done that with this napkin, but I decided not to because of them tearing. I just want to make sure this has a nice, good coat on it. You're probably like, isn't that enough? You've smothered the poor thing. Well, that's part of decoupaging. It's called smothering. Oh, I don't know if it's called that or not. I just said that. You want to smother that napkin with all kinds of decoupage love here. And yes, we have to dry this too, but we're going to want to be very super duper careful with this. This is going to be a satin. So, yeah. I'm looking at that word patient. And yes, you have to be patient when it's drying. Okay, so I'm going to pause this video so I can also wash out my brush. And you don't want to hear me walk off to the side and go into the bathroom and wash out my brush, do you? No. And then in so doing, when I am in pause mode with you, then I'll be drying this as well. Okay, and then I'll come back and we'll see what this looks like after all that. Okay, I just kind of want to show you what it looks like as I'm applying the low heat to this decoupage tile. Normally when you apply really thick coats, you want to let it, if you don't have a heat gun, you're going to want to let it set to dry about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how many layers of decoupage you put on here, or Mod Podge. I keep saying decoupage, but I mean Mod Podge. So it's not quite dry yet, but you can kind of see the progress of this. Okay, I'm going to do some more drying here, so I'll pause you. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. This really isn't totally dry yet, and it would probably take me quite a bit of using that dry tool to really get it dry. But as you can see, as it dries, it's going to have a little bit of sheen because it is the satin, and that comes in gloss and also matte, just to let you know. And if you're not familiar with buying Mod Podge. Anyway, so I'm going to let this dry even further because I can't really even begin to even work with it to what I want to do with it yet. So I'm going to put this one aside so it can continue drying. In the meantime, I'm going to start another tile. Okay. So that one's off to the side drying. I'm so glad I went ahead and bought 2 tiles here. That's so good. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. I thought, wait a moment there. Where did I put my stuff? So this is still a little bit damp from when I washed out the Mod Podge. That doesn't matter because, again, we're just going to apply a very thin coat. And remember, this is gesso. This is not Mod Podge. So basically, so I don't make this particular video that long, I'm probably going to split this up into 2 parts. I knew it would probably take me a little while to do this, because these kind of projects take a little while to really dry to where you want to, dry them. So anyway, I'm just showing you that applying this stuff, if you've never really worked with gesso, if you've never really worked with Mod Podge, it's very easy. It might be a little bit intimidating to those who have never worked with it. But really, 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 it's easy. And for those of you who already know this, you might just go, oh, well, I already know all this. I do not even want to bother watching this video. Well, that's fine too. So, okay. Alrighty, well, I will see you then on another video. Thank you so much for joining in with me today. And like I said, this is going to be a 2-parter. I want to just make sure I get that off my brush. But thank you ever so much for all my new subscribers. I just want to make sure I keep my content as fresh as possible. Keep putting videos up on this channel. And like I said, I've got some videos right now that are uploading. So yeah, there'll be some new videos coming your way. So stay tuned. Thank you. Bye-bye.